Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wolf Pit with another episode of What Are We Eating? Today, we're diving headfirst into the world of unholy food hybrids, ramen, but make it Tex-Mex and pizza. Yeah, you heard me right, Tex-Mex and pizza ramen. On the Tex-Mex side, we have Old El Paso, fajita chicken, and beef birria ramen noodles. On the pizza side, we have Totino's cheese pizza and buffalo-style chicken pizza ramen. All 4 cups of ramen weigh 2 ounces and cost $1.88. Both brands promise big, bold flavor, quick cook times, and a total disrespect for culinary boundaries. Let's see who pulls it off better, or at all. Starting off with the Old El Paso beef birria ramen noodles. Here's the list of ingredients. And of course there's no beef in it, just beef broth and textured soy protein, which is also known as TVP. I've asked this many times. Why do they have to put soy in all these foods? The whole cup has 200 calories, 1.5 grams of total fat, no saturated fat, no trans fat, 1,220 milligrams of sodium, 38 grams of carbohydrates, 2 grams of fiber, 3 grams of sugars, and 7 grams of protein. Now let's get some water in these, get them heated up, and then it's ready to eat. Now here's our Old El Paso beef burrito ramen after microwaving on high for 2.5 minutes and resting for 2 minutes. Now I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but the Old El Paso beef burrito ramen noodles smells like Taco Tuesday at a gas station. So we got a big old fork full, and look at all that TVP. Doesn't that look simply delicious? And the ramen looks different. I've never seen ramen that looked like this. And that first bite wasn't very good. But I think the problem is we're trying to eat this with a fork and all the flavors in the broth. So let me go back and get a spoon so we can get the broth and the noodles. I refuse to call them ramen. So now we got a big old spoonful of the noodles and the broth. And these noodles are more like really thin fettuccine. And even with a spoonful of broth, the Old El Paso burrito taco ramen noodles aren't very good. They lack flavor, the noodles are funky, and the broth literally tastes like watered down taco seasoning. And I'm sure if I ate the cup, there'd be more flavor and more sustenance. And I'm gonna give Old El Paso's beef burrito ramen noodles a 1 out of 10. Now for the Old El Paso fajita ramen noodles. Here's the list of ingredients. The whole cup of ramen has 220 calories, 2 grams of total fat, 0.5 gram of saturated fat, no trans fat, no cholesterol, 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 43 grams of carbohydrates, 3 grams of fiber, 4 grams of sugars, and 7 grams of protein. Now here's our fajita ramen noodles after microwaving on high for 2.5 minutes and resting for 2 minutes. So we gave it a good stir, and this time we're starting off with a spoon. And we got a big old spoonful of the broth and the noodles. The only thing that bite is missing is the TVP. Well, never mind. The other thing that was missing was flavor. There was a very subtle vinegar flavor and a slight spicy flavor. But other than that, that's what it tasted like. Vinegar, spice, and noodles. Oh, and did I forget to mention that the noodles were weird? And I'm also giving Old El Paso fajita ramen noodles a 1 out of 10. Now for the Totino's cheese pizza ramen noodles. Here's the list of ingredients. The whole cup of ramen has 220 calories, 3 grams of total fat, 2 grams of saturated fat, no trans fat, no cholesterol, 920 milligrams of sodium, 42 grams of carbohydrates, 2 grams of fiber, 6 grams of sugars, and 6 grams of protein. Now here's our Totino's cheese pizza ramen noodles. And it looks like the same daggone type of noodles that were in the Old El Paso. What gives? If you're gonna call something ramen noodles, you better use ramen noodles. Unless I'm wrong. Are there different types of ramen noodles? Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. Either way, the noodles were just like the ones from Old El Paso. However, the cheese pizza broth is genius. It tastes like you're literally eating a piece of pizza. You can taste the cheese, the tomato sauce, and the herbs. Or for my viewers across the pond, herbs. It's delicious. I would just rather have a cup of the broth. Totino's, you nailed the flavor, but the noodles suck. Which is why I'm giving Totino's cheese pizza ramen noodles a 4 out of 10. Finally, for the Totino's buffalo style chicken ramen noodles. Here's the list of ingredients. The whole cup has 240 calories, 6 grams of total fat, 4.5 grams of saturated fat, no trans fat, less than 5 milligrams of cholesterol, 1,430 milligrams of sodium, 40 grams of carbohydrates, 2 grams of fiber, 2 grams of sugars, and 7 grams of protein. Now here's our buffalo style chicken pizza ramen after microwaving on high for 2.5 minutes and resting for 2 minutes. Now this smells like game night at your local sports bar, just like a plate of buffalo chicken. Vinegary, peppery, and delicious. Well, they smell delicious. Let's give them a try and see if they taste delicious. And not only did it smell delicious, it tasted delicious. Once again, Totino's nailed the broth. You could taste the vinegar and peppers in the hot sauce, and even though it doesn't look like it, it tasted creamy and cheesy. But once again, the noodles were bad. So I'm giving Totino's buffalo style chicken ramen noodles a 4 out of 10. Thank you all very much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.